Marcus Rashford has announced that he wants to leave Manchester United. So what's this all about? So Henry Winter had a conversation with Marcus Rashford, top journalist Henry Winter, during which time Marcus Rashford, Danny, says to Henry, for me personally, I think I'm ready for a new challenge and the next steps. When I leave, it's going to be no hard feelings. You're not going to have any negative comments from me about Manchester United. That's me as a person. And he goes on to say, when I leave, I'll make a statement, and it'll be from me. It'll be from the heart, and I'll always be a Red. Yeah, 100%, 100%. So what do you think? This is from the heart as well. It seems, yeah, my time's up at United.
Well, I've backed Marcus a lot, and I've always liked him because he's a super talent and tried to understand him the best I can. I'm really struggling with this one.
Is he jumping before he's pushed?
Well, irrelevant. Well, what are you doing? Like, who are you helping? You're not helping yourself, because if he puts a United shirt on again and has half a bad game, they're going to say he's ready to jump. He doesn't want to be here. You can see it in his play. He's just giving himself a bigger amount of pressure if he is used to play again. Because surely you want to keep playing even if you want to go.
Yeah.
Because you want to keep putting yourself in the window, keep yourself fit, all those things. So that's a problem. He's heaped huge pressure on himself if he plays again. He's put the club in a difficult position in that he's saying he wants to leave. So when someone might want him, they're going to try and get him on the cheap because they know he's desperate to go. So he's depreciated the asset of himself in a way for the club. Hence the fact Amarin can see the breaking news on the screen. He's speaking about, I want the best of Marcus Rashford. We are better with Marcus. This kind of club needs big talents. I think that's a great response, but it's an obvious response because he wants to bull him up again.
Well, you're right, Dan, and you're right to take me to it, because Amarim has just been speaking and he's striking a different tone regards Rashford.
I think he's right. We have here a new challenge. Is a tough one. For me, it's the biggest challenge in football, because we are in a difficult situation, and I already said that this is one of the biggest clubs in the world, so this is really a new challenge and the biggest one, and I hope all my players are ready for this new challenge. What I want is to take the best of Marcus Rashford as all the players. So I don't talk about the future, I just talk about the present. I want the best of each one of them. And that is the key point for me. I just want to win and to help the team to be better. So we are better with Marcus Rashford, and that's simple. And we try different things to push Marcus to the best level that he's shown in the past. So this kind of club needs big talent, and he's a big talent. So we just need to perform at the highest level, and that is my focus. I just want to help Marcus.
So I take from that, Simon, that Amarim is saying, yeah, I hear him, he's ready for a new challenge, but that's under me at United. That's a new challenge we're talking about.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, I would suspect the word currently needs to be added in there, because Man United might be better currently under Marcus Rashford because they don't have an embarrassment of riches to be able to replace the position of Marcus Rashford. I have felt for some time that Rashford needed to move and to change. I don't think leaving Manchester United and going to PSG or whoever may be foolish enough to pick up this inordinate salary, this exorbitant salary that is being paid, is going to be the solution for Marcus. I think we've seen the best of Marcus Rashford. I've always felt, despite the football fraternity endlessly bigging him up, that he was a very decent footballer, not a world-class footballer, not on the pedestal that people put him on. I thought he was a decent player. I think his attitude at times has been quite poor over the last couple of years, for whatever reason. We all have challenges in our life. I suspect most people would like to have some of Marcus Rashford's challenges as opposed to their own. But the bottom line is he hasn't exhibited the prerequisite characteristics to illustrate to me, as an impartial observer, that he is part of a rebuild of Man United to the highest levels that they once were, which Amarin's been brought in. Whether he's ill-advised, whether he's been advised, whether he's spoken in a moment of reaction to the fact that he was dropped from the squad and has let his mouth run away with him, I don't know. I mean, he is a valuable asset to the people that represent him. So the people that represent him must have guided him in some respect. So he's either not being guided and he's gone off on a limb and opened his mouth, or he's engaged his brain, or there is some strategy behind this that's going to become more evident. The challenge for me is, how in God's name do you get Marcus Rashford out of Manchester United on the current construct of the deal that he's got, at the same time as retain any value? United are not going to give him away. There's no reason for them to give him away. He has a market value.
Yeah.
But the market value is massively reduced by the fact he's on a £320,000 a week salary. Now, Nasser Khelafi and someone like that might be foolish enough to want to take him across to PSG, and he can play in a less competitive league and maybe shine there for a period of time.
Yeah.
It hasn't worked well for a lot of people who played over there. And so I don't really know what he aims to achieve. But to answer your central question, I think it's not a conscious decision to jump before he's pushed, but that's what was going to happen. Because I don't think he was going to cross the Rubicon to where Amarim is going to drive this team if he is given the latitude to do it.
Ultimately, sorry, Jim, just quickly,
I
don't think it's strategic, actually. It's probably just a moment where he's been in a position. But the thing I'm struggling with it, if I take myself back to being a player, I always kind of think to myself, what do I do that's best for me here? For my future, for moving forward. Always that's to be playing. Even if you're planning a getaway or you want to get out, what he's done now, because he's already behind the 8 ball with the fans, you know what I mean? He's so now if Amarim says, "Look, you've had a good week's training, I'm going to put you in," and he's not at it, he's already said he wants a fresh challenge. You're giving yourself a mountain.
Well, if he's not at it, it's a problem anyway. But the point is that I'd like to ask you a question as a player. If you've got this moment in time where you've been dropped out of a squad, it's all over the media, right? The first person you would talk to about what you might do is people around you. He's worth $1.5 million a year to his agents, right? So someone is going to have said something to him before he flapped his gums to Henry. I don't believe he's gone off as a lone wolf. He would have consulted with someone, which if it happened to you and you were marginalised in that way as a bigger player at a club, would you have gone and spoken to your agent? Would you have gone and spoken to people around you? Would you have spoken about it to someone else to let the steam off? Or would you just gone, find me a journalist so I can flap my gums?
Well, no, I wouldn't. I mean, the only example I can give
It's a great question.
When I was at Charlton and me and Curbs had a little fallout, I was training with the kids and stuff, and I got my move to Tottenham. That was all done behind closed doors.
Right, not like this, not in public.
No, but I did speak to my agent, and we did have words with the chairman and Curbs and Tottenham, all of that. And I said my piece, and I said it well.
Yes.
But I didn't say to any press.
We want to hear from Manchester United fans on this morning. Marcus Rashford. So it's a lengthy text in Henry Winter's Twitter feed. Henry Winter, of course, top journalist here in the UK. And the key for me is in the middle of it. I ask Rashford if he's staying or going. For me personally, I think I'm ready for a new challenge and the next steps. When I leave, there's going to be no hard feelings.
Just to give it context, he was at a school, Simon, delivering presents, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And sometimes...
Well, he gave Henry Winter a present, didn't he?
I know, but that's what I'm saying. That's why I was thinking maybe it wasn't so strategic. When you're in a moment and you get... I'm not sure.
Maybe it wasn't planned.
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
We're focusing our attention on Henry Winter's conversation, which has pretty much exploded in the media with Marcus Rashford when Rashford took some Christmas presents to a school in Manchester yesterday. And some of the comments that Rashford made to Henry have become headline news, not unsurprisingly, because Henry said to Rashford, "Are you staying? Are you going? What's happening?" For me personally, I think I'm ready for a new challenge and the next steps. Now, Amarim, the new man in charge at United, has decided to put that into the context of, a new challenge under me. But only a matter of 9 months ago, when the same Marcus Rashford spoke to the Players' Tribune, he struck a different chord.
Write the facts. I can't have people questioning my commitment to Man United. It's... To me and to my family, it's ridiculous. It's funny to me if they understood the path that I've been on and the journey, deals and contracts that we've said no to, compared to the deals that we've said yes to from United. And now all of a sudden, he's a money grabber. Like, no. Let's go back to when it started. I'm very comfortable in how I've handled my career from the beginning. Even from before then, like from probably 10, 11, like I've been very much in control with my family of where we wanted to go. I've always just said, if we do get there, if we do make it and play for Man United, I want to be able to look you in the eyes and you've not changed. I want you to be able to look me in the eyes and say, I have not changed. And that was one of the biggest things in me growing up.
Marcus Rashford
Do you think
speaking
they actually
just
believe that drivel that they
9
trot?
months ago. That wasn't him tickling the ivories, incidentally.
Do you think they actually believe that sort of nonsense when they trot it out? Do you? Because
Yeah.
I wonder. Do you think they actually
Yeah, I
believe
do.
it? They're
I
so
do.
insulated from the rest of the
I'd
reality.
have believed it if I'd have said it myself.
Would you?
Yeah, and
I
if
mean, I
I'd
don't
have
think
said
it-
it about myself when I was 25, I'd have believed it, and it would have been wrong.
It's interesting that he makes the point about money grab. I don't think Marcus Rashford is a money grabber
Nor do
because he's there to be paid what people think he's worth.
Yeah.
The question is he worth what he's paid? And I would suggest that it's not about money grabbing. And I think he's not been worth what he's paid.
Yeah, well, now, these months on, he's in the back of the newspapers this morning following Winter's conversation with him yesterday. And I'll select one, The Times, Paul Hurst. Rashford, it's time for me to quit United. So this is what we've come to. Marcus Rashford has made the shock announcement that he wants to leave Manchester United. Is this him jumping before he was pushed? So many United fans phoning the show. It's quite unbelievable. Jason, kick us off. Big United fan. What's your take on this? Is he jumping before he's pushed, Jason?
Morning, gents. Hope you're well.
Morning, Jason.
Morning.
Yeah. Thank you.
Of course he is. Listen, myself and a lot of fans, we think he's a disgrace. That's a strong word. But that whole article yesterday, it rubbed us up the wrong way. And it sums up Rashford. The three of you know how it works in the media. He's clearly been waiting to contact his old mate Henry. First time something goes wrong, he's contacted him, because I'm right in saying he's the only person who's released that story yesterday. He's not bumped into Henry down the pub, has he? The first part of Henry's tweet, he's saying, he's had a day off, he's been round his old school. Well, that's great. So again, the first thing we're thinking of Rashford, nothing to do with football, it's off the pitch. Then he's saying that he holds no ill feelings towards the club. He shouldn't do. We're paying him $350k a week. And Alan Brazil was on about it this morning, saying, well, it's not his fault he's on that sort of money. But let's be honest, his team negotiated that salary. His salary is world-class money, and he's not world-class. The only thing world-class about Rashford is his PR team.
Wow.
Yeah, do you know what?
Wow.
I don't worry.
Yeah.
It's not about the salary. A lot of players make the most of their positions and earn loads of money. But my concern around the words, whether they were strategic or off the cuff, it doesn't benefit anyone. It doesn't even benefit himself. It makes his position really difficult to play. And the fans are a lot of the fans are against him anyway.
I have to say, Danny, you say it's not about the salary, and I appreciate that. But if he's on 80 grand a week, picking which weeks he turns up, the fans could stomach it. Like McTominay, Scott McTominay, a good pro, worked hard, and was limited.
Yeah.
Rashford is limited in itself, but guess what? He's on 350k a week, so he will be judged by those standards.
So, Jason, is your message to us this morning? Right, Marcus, I hear what you're saying to Henry Winter, but I want you gone.
Unfortunately, yeah, he does a lot for the community, but I'm pretty sure he won't be walking away without a nice settlement, will he? So let's see how old Marcus does when he wants to negotiate his tenure.
Okay, Jason, listen, thanks for the call. Dave's been waiting patiently, one of many United fans. Dave, let's squeeze you in before the break. What's your take on what he said to Henry Winter?
It's not so much on what he said, Jim. It's just... You're getting to the end of your tether with him now. I think he's just got to go. I mean, at the end of the day, he's the most high-profile player we've got at the club. I think the young ones amongst them follow him, i.e. Garnacho. And the problem for me with Rashford is he just doesn't work hard enough. He doesn't run hard. He pretends to now and again with the sprint. He pulls out of tackles. He doesn't go up for headers. He just needs to start to work. If he started to work hard, we'd forgive everything. You look at Mane and Salah 3 or 4 years ago at Liverpool, and they work like, if the expression is not too bad, they work like dogs.
Yeah.
And he needs to watch that, see that. And if he does the same and shows a commitment, the people will love him. I mean, you say, well, I'd be gutted if he goes. I will. He's a United boy. He's been brought up through the academy. But I was much more gutted when Mason Greenwood went. Much more gutted that we lost Greenwood. I know it's a totally different argument, is that. But at the end of the day, he's not done it for 2 years now. He's just not done it.
Okay, Dave, listen, thank you for the call. And I can hear it in your tone, what you think. Sam, take me to the break. If you're Sir Jim Ratcliffe this morning, are you raising an eyebrow about this?
Yeah, I'm not pleased with it. Henry's written a piece which is equivalent to being his PR representative about what wonderful things he does and what formation he might not be able to play in and how he thinks his career could be developed and how it's the beginning. I mean, Henry, Christ almighty, what are you on a retainer? But the point is that I think that Marcus Rashford has run his course. I thought it for some time. I thought maybe he'd punch his way back into the side. I think it's done everybody a favour. Why waste time, get to the bottom line? The challenge is how you get him out.
Yeah, that's the
and it's not about settlements. He's almost put a transfer request in. There's almost an argument to say that you actually invoked a situation where potentially the club has no choice.
Yeah.
And so loyalty bonuses and things of that nature might come off the table. I might be being a bit cynical there, but the point is that it doesn't seem to be a well-handled situation unless we're all missing something. And there's a strategy behind this. If Marcus has gone off at the mouth, Henry's there for a reason. Henry's at this function for a reason. So the reason was that Marcus Rashford wanted him there. So I would suspect there's more method to the madness than we would give credit to.
Well, Paul Hurst in the Times has summed it up. In a decision that will surprise many supporters and those from outside the club, Rashford said he was ready to end his 20-year association with United because he wanted a new challenge. Strange way of doing it.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.